Campaign stumps, well, they are over. Now it's time for Barack Obama to take transition to the White House. Joining me tonight, Republican strategist Ron Christie and Democratic strategist Alana Goldman. Thank you guys for joining me again. I want you to listen to what the future White House Chief of Staff, Rahm Emanuel, he told me earlier this week in Chicago. He's a funny guy. Take a look.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing?
How are you?
Good. Here's the
Good
deal.
to see you.
Here's the deal. Ready?
Wait.
Don't worry, you okay? It's not going to be that big. Don't worry about it. Don't worry, Marianne, there's not a big deal.
Okay. You want me to hold this for you?
No, here's the deal.
I got it.
When I'm shocked, first of all, Marianne, let me say this. I now have something over you. You got him sitting out here while you're warming your... Okay, all right, here's the deal. I'm going to go have lunch with my wife. Don't ask me where, because you are not invited unless you're picking up the tab. Here's one thing I will say, okay? And then let me go, okay? We're going to turn this way. Okay. Here's the deal. My parents are alive to see their middle son have a choice in his career between being a congressman with one chance, one opportunity down the road of maybe rising in the leadership, and being the chief of staff to a historic presidency at a historic time. I'm very fortunate that my parents are alive to see that whatever choice I make.
Alana, you saw his personality there, and many people outside of Washington may not know that personality. I've covered him for years in Chicago. Very straightforward guy. He shoots from the hip. People were out at his headquarters saying, oh, well, maybe he'll go through the back door. And I said, Rahm Emanuel's not going to go through the back door. He's going to walk right through the front. If he has something to say, he'll say it. Straight shooter.
Absolutely. I think this is a great choice.
Why so?
Well, you know, look, we've seen administrations that didn't have experienced Washington hands at the helm right from the get-go. We looked at what President Clinton's first 100 days looked like. We saw what President Reagan's first 100 days looked like with a lot of experienced Washington hands. So I think it's really important when you've got President like President-elect Obama, who's coming in without decades and decades of Washington insider connections, and this is a great way to help his administration get started on the right foot and get started fast with all the economic issues he's got challenging him.
Ron Christie, not everyone believes that this is a good choice.
That's true. Look, I respect Rahm Emanuel. Obviously, he has a very direct style, a very brass-knuckle style of politics. But at the same time, I don't begrudge the president-elect. He needs somebody who has his authority, who has the voice behind him, and Congressman Rahm Emanuel will have the voice and will have the authority of the President of the United States when he has to mediate fights between White House staff, cabinet secretaries. You need somebody, for my time, for having worked with Andy Card and Josh Bolten in the current administration, both White House chiefs of staff, you need somebody who has the authority, the heft, and the competency to be a good chief of staff, and I have no doubt that Rahm Emanuel will be able to help the president in every way possible. Okay, Ron and Alana, I want to talk to you about Valerie Jarrett, again, someone else who is little known outside of Chicago, but is co-chairing Barack Obama's transition team. Very smart woman, businesswoman in her own right, successful as well in her own right, but took the time out of her career to spend 2 years on the campaign trail. I spoke with her 2 days ago. Let's hear what she had to say about this transition team that she's co-chairing. No rest for the weary.
No rest for the weary.
Now you're in charge, or at least you're on. You're part of the team. Yeah, who's going to help with the
transition? Yeah, absolutely. So you know what? We'll rest in 8 years. Right now, we're just going to focus on making sure that he's surrounded by absolutely the best team he can have. He's always quick to say, I need to have people in the room who have a diversity of opinion, who come from a variety of different perspectives, to push me to make the best possible decisions. And so that's the business we're about right now. We want him to be ready to hit the ground running.
Well, Ron, people joke and call her Barack Obama's Karl Rove because they are really inseparable, and they credit her with helping him win this election. What are Republicans saying about Valerie Jarrett and folks who are taking part in that transition team?
Well, Republicans really aren't so much focused on Valerie Jarrett as they are looking at, this is a very exciting time, Don, and it's a very important time. The transition is a period where people from all across the United States are given the opportunity and the privilege to serve their country. And I think the president-elect and his transition team right now are looking for the best and the brightest people from a wide variety of backgrounds, a wide variety of diversity, and what can they bring to this country? What sort of experience can they bring to bear to help govern this country?
You're sounding a lot like a Democrat now. If you
No, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a very proud conservative
Yeah.
Republican, but I was here 8 years ago, and this is not a time for partisanship. This is the time to govern. The time where the campaign just ended. That period ended. It's time to govern. We need the best and the brightest to govern this country, and that's where I think partisanship has to take a side to get the best folks in these very important positions to help us in these critical times.